Thanks a million.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Puck Fair gives Liz Towels and
You are
Casey
15
Klaus the
questions
stars.
away from the million.
Those
Are you ready to go? Have a
as
look
well
at
as
this
swords.
for 100
We're concerned
euros.
about the swords question. I think it's the city and the Dublin swords. And I tried to double check actually, because spears is an option, so it's an option. So, which of the following is a shoe pot? Recover, cure, healthy, heal. That'd be heal.
Nice, easy one. You have
I think it's
100
also that
euros.
Irish thing, copying or pointing. I think so.
Okay, let's crack on for 200 euros.
What movement do you use in China to eat food? Chopped liver, chop suey, chop, chopsticks. That'd be chopsticks.
You think it's D. No doubts there. You have 200 euros.
I'm putting about that now. I'm 1/9 of the way there with my record. Again, I'm just putting it out of, just putting that in my memory bank, just getting these games knocked out, and then work from there. Friend star Jennifer Aniston is married to Brad Trow, Bucket, Pitt. Well, it's Brad Pitt.
You think it's C. Doing fine. 300 euros.
And for the record, it pronounced Brad Bucket, not Hyacinth Bouquet. I am a fan of cute little appearances that people don't know.
It'll take you up to 500 euros.
Okay. Which cat is always chasing Tweedledee? Max, Sooty, Felix, Sylvester. I thought
You think it's D. You bet it is. 500 euros to you. Remember, you still have all 3 lifelines left. Great start. Here's the next question for 1,000 euros. Get this, and that's the least that you can leave with. Here's the question.
Okay.
Take your time.
Appaloosa Arab, Palomino are all breeds of rat, cat, dog, horse. The types of horses.
Final answer is D. Shall we go to orange? To guarantee yourself 1,000 euros, you need to get this right. You did. Well done.
Okay, now I'm taking down. Okay, put the thought century on my head. Now the mentality from down there is like, I want to get my quota or core min of 11 first, and then if I want some sort of high run, then that's when, I could just let it take off after that. So I think my longest ever run the PS1 game I had was I think I said this before, was a 225 I did just over 2 years ago on the third PS1 game.
Bank. Have a look at the next one for 2,000 euros. You might as well have a go at it.
Okay, for 2,000. Okay. Kilrush is in which Irish county? Clare, Galway, Sligo, Roscommon. The Kilrush of Moher.
You think it's A.
I said that yesterday.
You just doubled
and
the
I
money.
say it again.
You have 2,000 euros.
Yeah, I have been doing my due diligence of Irish counties. I think that was the number one thing that was costing my runs was the infamous Irish county. The Kilrush of Moher. That pays it for it. There's also, I think,
From now on, the amount of money starts to rise pretty steeply. You are now just 9 questions away from the 1 million mark. But if you get this wrong, you could lose 1,000 euros.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Yeah, even
for 4,000
I also think to
euros.
myself, the back of my head, I was thinking, I could break on any day now and just get the century run right away, so. Okay. Which sculptor created the Dinker? Michelangelo, Donatello, Rodin, Epstein. That'd be Auguste Rodin.
You think it's C.
I know there's questions for Dowds about.
The money is mounting up. You have 4,000
If I
euros.
do it, I'm posting that. Let me post it to Tayo's Price of Life. That's so funny.
Question 8 is worth 8,000 euros. Remember, though, there is a built-in loss of 3,000 euros if you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Take a look at the question.
So, yep, half my game, so. The Sears Tower, one of the tallest buildings in the world, is in which city? Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, DC. It's in Chi-Town.
You think it's A.
As an American, I would shoot myself if I got this wrong. So,
You had
not anymore
4,000
actually. I
euros.
think, but after the
You now have
Tackle
8,000
1 then
euros.
it's currently the first Khalifa, and I think it's in Dubai. It's like almost 3,000 feet tall, actually, in Dubai. I've heard rumors that there's apparently like a 3,000 or 4,000 foot tower in
You're
construction. I
on
think in China.
8,000 euros. The next question is worth 16,000. Concentrate. Think about the answer. Here goes.
All right, for 16, what you got? Okay. What is the longest bone in the human body? The tibia, the ulna, the femur, the patella. It's also the biggest bone in the body. The femur.
You think it's C?
It's just below the hip. So
you had 8,000
just below the hip
euros.
to die. So
you now have 16,000
24.
euros.
So okay.
Remember, you still have all 3 lifelines left. Okay, get ready for the next one. You have 16,000 euros, 6 questions from the 1 million prize. The next answer could get you 32,000 euros, and our guarantee that that is the least that you will leave the game with. Get ready to play.
Okay,
Here
32,000. What you got for me, Gabo? Okay. In the human body, a platelet is a hair, tooth, blood particle. It's a blood particle, actually.
You think it's C?
Again.
When you leave the game, you can
That's
be sure
just
of
pop
one
it too.
thing.
I think
You will
I'll
take with you
just
a
for that your
minimum
questions
of
that I've never seen
32,000 euros.
or
It's the correct answer.
or seen. I think type O is one of the few, the most common blood type donors type O, and there's also I think there's one more on those as well. Bladder one as well. I need to know about, and trying to think as well. Which ones for 64 have I seen in the past that not shown up?
You now have
Bladder
32,000 euros.
as well.
Fantastic. Whatever happens, you're going to leave the game with that amount, and you deserve it. You've played a blinder. You are now 5 questions away from $1 million. The next one is worth 64,000 euros. You might as well play. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Have a look at question 11.
So, now I'm getting a trip just thinking of like, how am I going to plan my? I'm already thinking, I've got the one already at this point. So, the human body, the crispus factor is found in the bones, hair, blood, nails. It's in the blood.
You think it's C?
In fact, they could clot blood actually. So,
you are guaranteed
so
to
give me
check
2
for
questions about blood.
32,000 euros. I'm tearing it up.
Yep.
You won't need it.
Yeah.
You've just won 64,000 euros.
I know people with hemophilia, they don't have a Christmas factor, and they bleed to death. Hemophiliacs.
The next question is worth 125,000 euros, but there is a built-in loss of 32,000 if you should be unlucky enough to get it wrong. Have a look at it. Remember, you don't have to play. You can leave now with 64,000 euros.
Okay, for 125. Hope I get that troposphere one. That'd be impressive revenge, actually. Agatha Christie's first book was The Mysterious Affair Act. Torquay, Brighton, Bingley, Styles. That'd be a serious affair at Styles.
You think it's D?
I think of Bingley. I think about the whole watch culture.
You knew.
I believe it was the top 10 wrestlers with porn, actually, on the watch culture wrestling video. They had Bingley the dog.
But you didn't lose.
And
you now have 125,000 euros.
I don't know how someone would watch that video and not make Bingley dead. Let's move down. I should get the win from here on out. The last 3 questions.
You have
I think I've seen all. I think I've seen them all actually. All the last 3 questions, at least twice now. I was there once, but yesterday I saw the Brian Friel question for the first time in.
You don't have to play it. You can take the money you run, but it
doesn't cost a cent
to look at it. Here it is.
Okay, 250. What you got for me? Okay. What were tenors suited into the heroic roles of French grand opera called? Hymn tenors, harp tenors, Helden tenors, harmony tenors. That'd be Helden tenors.
You think it's C? To play at this level, you need knowledge, patience, and nerve. You also need the right answer, which is what you had. You won 250,000 euros. You are now just 2 questions away from 1 million euros. Whatever happens, you have done remarkably well. You have 250,000. You now have the chance to play for 500,000. Look at the question, reason it through, decide whether or not you want to play.
Yeah, I
Remember,
also forgot to
get this
bring up
wrong,
that if
you will go
perhaps the
right
century
back to
run goes on to,
32,000
you know,
euros. So, take your time.
epic heights,
Here is
mind
the
you.
question.
I mean, a good goal for me would be to play for, you know, a good Mario would be to play for almost 5 hours straight, actually. So, but anyways, I'll discuss better after this question. Which film won Best Picture in the 1990 Academy Awards? Goodfellas, Life is Beautiful, Misery, Dances with Wolves. That'd be Colvin Custer with Dances with Dances.
You think it's D?
Yeah, going back to what I said
Well,
before,
you were either going to win
about the long run, I
500,000
think
euros or
I
lose
200 to 5 hours is a
218,000.
good
One or
benchmark.
the
But if
other.
I got into an epic
You
run,
made your
let's say,
call. You
you know,
went for
10
it.
plus, 12 plus hours,
Congratulations, you're now worth
if,
half
you know,
a million euros.
if run I'm on currently, by some miracle straddles the entire day, would that be a violation of the challenge? Well, I would say yes and no. For one thing, I can always pause, freshen up the games, and get those already uploaded. I can always
You
transfer
still
the
have
games
all
onto
3
my phone,
lifelines left.
actually.
You have 50-50, phone a friend,
But
and ask the audience.
yes and no, in the sense that if a run goes
Well,
to
here we
immortal
are.
heights,
You have reached the
I
15th and
could
final
just say,
question for
I
1
failed the challenge.
million
But even then,
euros.
it'd be like,
You have
yeah.
500,000. You
And
do
again, one thing I
not
forgot
have
to,
to play. You
and
can
keep
walk
wondering,
away
I don't
now
have
with
any
our
declarations at
congratulations
all
and best
in
wishes,
this.
and of course,
I can't
500,000
declare at all
euros.
when I got on a
or
century
you
run.
can play.
So,
For 1 million,
so
you can have a go at this question. But if you're wrong,
yeah, I'm
you
often
will
fearing
lose
that thefts gonna happen. So,
468,000 euros. Take a look. Take your time. Remember to
so
keep your head, and you might keep the money.
yeah.
So,
I actually thought before
do
doing
you
this
want to be
challenge
a
I'd have like a
millionaire?
hard cap at 250,
If
but I
you
was like,
do,
nah,
here
no
is
hard
the
cap.
question.
Well, when I was talking about that, I forgot to give my prediction of this, and I'll say John Bunyan, Pilgrim's Progress. Why not? So, who wrote the Pilgrim's Progress? John Donne, John Bunyan, John Milton, John Gay. John Bunyan.
You think it's
That's one in
B.
40 odds. Because Saladin was my first
When
one.
you started this game, there were 15 questions between you and 1 million euros. You gave it your best shot. You climbed all the way to the top until there was only 1 question to go, and then you chose your answer and decided to play. The result is
Yeah, I won in 40 odds because I already had it on my
won
Menendez.
1 million euros.
That's my first one, so.
Congratulations, you're a millionaire.
John Carpenter number 227, my second for today, and my second in a row. That being said, thanks for watching. Remember, this is the second game of 11 I have to do for today.